Buy dirt. They're not making any more of it. You've heard it. I've heard it. We've been told it our whole lives. Would you say that you are the type of person who's hyper-focused on making land ownership a reality in your life? Are you the person who's dreaming day and night about buying some plot of land in a rural setting to build your dream house for you to raise a family in? Or maybe you're the farmer or rancher who's working like a dog 364 days a year to try to grow a farm or a ranching operation for future generations of people you may never even know. Land ownership means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but what we all share in common is the tenacity and the determination to make it happen. It takes a dream for you to become a landowner. It can't just be I wake up one day and think that sounds like fun, let me get out my checkbook. For most of us, if it's ever going to become a reality, it takes a lot of intentionality. It will take a lot of focus, a lot of determination, and a lot of knowledge, a lot of information and networking. That's why we are here. I'm Chase Burns. I have about 10 years now worth of experience as a full-time real estate broker specializing in land and rural home transactions. I work with dreamers like you every day. I am like you. 10 or 12 years ago, we bought a tract of land, we built, and we have livestock, and we hunt, and we enjoy everything that land ownership has to offer because we figured out what it would take to make our dream become a reality. We also surrounded ourselves with great people, and they've been huge assets to us. Some as mentors, some as people that we just learned from. What did they do? How could we do it? How could we do better? And it takes a lot of help, frankly, for most of us. If you share the dream of land ownership, we're thrilled that you found us. This is Land Your Ground, the video podcast for landowners and dreamers. We are now entering season 2. This is episode 1, where we're going to be bringing you a lot of dialed-in information from landowners, land investors, land sales professionals, farmers, ranchers, homesteaders, hunters, campground developers, people who are putting the land to use for them and enjoying it, using it as a fantastic long-term, lifelong investment for them to grow their own personal wealth, but also just to enjoy. It's one of the few assets in life that you can invest in that's tangible enough for you to use, for you to benefit from and grow your own food on, for criminy sake. There's so many things that you can do with land, and we tap into those one by one through each episode. There's a lot of good information that's going to be coming at you through the rest of season 2 and just the next couple of episodes. But today, I want to tell you guys a few updates. What's been going on since the ending of season 1? There's been a lot for us. Life has been nuts lately, actually, being perfectly honest. It's mostly in good ways, but it's life. And sometimes business and farming and life stuff kind of gets in the way of a podcast production. Now, we absolutely love this. We love the community that's coming around this. And so we're super stoked about what we have coming in the next few episodes. And especially over the next few months, some updates that I'll get to in a minute that are going to really allow us to level up the quality of production, the amount of content that we bring to you guys, and also just the quality and quantity of guests that we're able to have come in and how frequently we can be producing more content. Life's about to get easier for us. So hopefully you're as glad to hear that as Jordan is. Jordan gives the nod. It's sometimes a struggle, guys. So it looks like, hey, we have this beautiful studio space here. This is actually our office. This is our kind of catch-all space at home, barn dominium, and we absolutely love it. We're blessed to have it. It is used for so many things in our household and in our farm that from day to day, there could be 25 friends and family hanging out in this space and having like a Friendsgiving dinner or a birthday party, and the next day there could be like the storage rooms just vomit out all kinds of livestock supplies, and there's castrating bands on the table, and there's totes of, branding stuff in the corner. It's like, you don't know when you walk into this space what kind of condition it's going to be in, how good it's going to be, or for us to quickly move a few pieces of furniture and set up all of the gear and be able to produce another quality episode for you guys. So I'm going to touch on that in a minute and tell you a little bit more. But if this is the first time that you found us, I want to ask you guys a favor. Subscribe. Do yourselves a favor and subscribe. The content that we're bringing to you guys is aimed directly at your pinch point, your pain point of, I need more information. I need help. I need somebody who can encourage me and guarantee in my mind that this is more than a dream, that I can actually do this. I'm going to buy a piece of land. And that's us. That's what we're here for. So we're glad you found us. Hit subscribe. You won't miss any content, and we're going to be bringing a lot more to you on the socials. So Jordan is going to talk to you guys about that.
I can't tell you how pumped I am that we're starting into season 2, because it means that a lot of the things that we've been planning, we're finally going to be chasing after and sharing with you guys. And a lot of that is land stories from our guests, but also from you guys. We want to hear your land stories so that we can talk about them, maybe share them out here or in short form content, anything like that. But a great place for that is going to be our Land Your Ground Facebook group. Head on over there, jump in, join in on the conversation, because we want it to be like a collective of place where we can all go and share inspiration and share our land stories, so that we can all get kind of a look at how everybody else is doing it, because maybe somebody else has an idea that's working for them that you'd like to try, or I'd like to try, or anything like that. And another big part of that Facebook group is that that's going to be where we're going to be showing a lot of our exclusive content, things like Q&As with guests following a podcast. We're going to have behind the scene look at what it goes into making an episode of Land Your Ground, some of our other content. And also it'd be a great spot for not only you to share your land stories, but also share with us topics, ideas, things you want us to cover, questions that you may have about something specific that we talked about in an episode. It is the one-stop shop for everything land related, because remember, it's not just what you know, it's who you know. So it's very important. Jump over, join that Facebook group. We're very excited to be starting into season 2. We're going to have more short form content, things of that nature that are going to be a little bit more deep dives into those very specific topics that we really want to cover, that are going to help all of us continue on our land journey. We're very excited for season 2 of Land Your Ground. We hope you are too. And I can't wait to get started.
So where have we been? Over the last couple of months, we had, after episode 20 launched, which was reviving history and opening a Mercantile. If you haven't seen it, go back and check that one out. That'll tell you a lot more about who I am and who my wife Jackie is and what we've been up to. She created a fantastic vision, a dream that we had together about opening a farm to market center in our small rural hometown here. And we're making that a reality. Since over the last couple of months opening the Mercantile, we've met so many new awesome people. The community support has been just dumbfounding. I mean, absolutely awesome. People just come out of the woodwork daily to come to the store, some from just across town and walk there. Others are traveling hours to get there and come in and support the store and shop through a lot of local products like locally grown beef and locally produced honey and eggs and maple syrup and all of those really cool kind of farm fresh products. And in the summer months, we had all sorts of melons and sweet corn, and we'll have zucchini and peppers and all of that sort of stuff that's grown in the dirt on local pieces of ground by people just like us. These are not big factory farm operations. These are local homesteaders and hobby farmers and people who are growing a high quality product that isn't something you go buy at your normal grocery store. There's been a tremendous outpouring of support, both from friends and family, local community members, and especially the landowners. I want to give credit to them that we've had many, many people reaching out to us saying, hey, I grow this. Hey, I have garlic. I do rhubarb. I have pork. And you guys aren't offering pork yet. Heritage breeds and really cool stuff. And so all of these niche sort of things, ag commodities that people are growing, we want to have the marketplace for that. And so we've really been pouring a lot of time and attention into growing what the Mercantile is and what it's offering and bringing to the community, and also just investing a lot of time in making sure that that business has legs under it and is doing really well. We also serve hand-scooped ice cream in there, and people are absolutely loving that. And it's a lot of fun, but it has been a lot of work, and just appreciate how much effort that takes for those of you who have maybe some sort of a business like that, or you're producing something and taking it to a farmer's market. This whole retail side of producing something, growing our own food is not new to us, but taking it to the market and networking with so many other farmers market type producers is awesome, but it's a lot more than we've ever taken on before. So it's been quite an adventure, and we are enjoying it, but encourage you to like and follow Prairie Crossroads, which is the business center that we created that has the Mercantile. Follow them on the socials. Catch up with us there and see more about what Jackie's doing in the store on a daily basis. Would love to have you guys go back and watch episode 20. Check that out. The Mercantile is not our whole life. That's just another another spoke in the wheel, I guess, another iron in the fire. And as much as we love that, because we just are soaked in with that entrepreneurial spirit, and sometimes if we had spare time, we wouldn't know what to do with it. We don't sit idle. We're just busybody people, I guess. But our farm life has not been any slower lately either. And between cattle and horses and growing the chicken operation to keep up with the egg demand from the Mercantile, there's just been a lot of new developments here, and a lot of, waters and fencing and additional hay demand and all of the things that we've had to kind of step up into over the last couple of months. Loving it. Again, all great things and great experiences for our kids. If you guys are already hobby farmers or ranchers and you're doing a lot of the livestock things, especially if you have young children, sometimes every little step you take seems like it takes twice as long as it ought to. And sometimes you make 2 or 3 really good strides forward, and then you fall 2 or 3 steps backwards. So there's a lot of trial and error in hobby farming in general. And we're doing well as we move into winter. We've gotten our first taste of really cold weather here recently. And it reminds us that when winter hits you, if you're not ready for it, you're going to pay. We've really had to step in and shore things up a lot as the temperatures start to drop to make sure that our animals are ready for that mostly. Now, the real estate market hasn't done us any favors as far as like giving us more time, but that is my primary function. That is my primary profession. Working full-time as a real estate broker who specializes in farmland, hunting land, and homes on acreage. And as we rolled into November, September and October especially, there was a gradual slowdown, and then almost things sat stagnant for about 30 days leading up to the election. I'm not going to get political with you guys at all. Don't need to. Post-election in 2019 and 2020, the world erupted. I don't need to remind you guys of that. There was just cities burning everywhere, and stock market was doing all kinds of crazy things. People lost, a lot of their wealth and then rebounded and gained it back, and the world was nuts. And I think as we headed into November this year, there was just so much uncertainty. People didn't know what the next couple of months were going to hold. So they just thought, gosh, is it wise to spend $300,000 on this house? Or is it wise to drop $800,000 on this farm and add in all of this to our operation to take on more debt to, do all of these things? And there were sellers that sat on the fence also and thought, will I be smart to wait 3 or 4 or 6 more months and maybe sell next spring? Or think is just the market going to take off like it did in 2020 again? And I'll be kicking myself because I sold now instead of waiting 6 months or 12 months. And so people just sat and waited until after we got the day after the election. It was like I had to charge my phone 3 times that day, I think. It was nonstop. People were calling. People wanted to do something. I have listed and sold more properties in the last 20 or 30 days than I did in the 3 or 4 months prior to that. It's a rally. Now, do I really think and expect that the next 6 months or 12 months are going to be super red hot like they were in 2020 or 2021? No, I don't think so. And a part of that is interest rates are not as appetizing to people today as they were even just 18 months ago, but they have softened a little bit, and there's enough money out there that people are still pretty aggressive when good rural properties come up available on the market. So it's not a bad time to sell right now by any means. The next few months, I think we're going to remain pretty darn busy, especially with the agricultural row crop type properties. And commodity prices are not fantastic, but there's a lot of farmers that still are doing well enough that if a good quality tract comes available, they're going to go after it. And I think the same is going to be the same story with homes on acreage. There are still so many people that are hungry to buy a tract of land and build on, or to buy a home on 15 or 25 or 50 acres and get some animals and create that homestead, more self-sufficiency type of lifestyle that we're all about. And there are so many more people that find themselves in that category every month that goes by. I don't see that demand slowing down. And I think if you are one of those people, you've came to the right place, because our goal is to help you, equip you, give you more knowledge, more information, hopefully give you an advantage over all of those other buyers that aren't tuned into us. And we're going to be bringing in some guests here soon who They have achieved those goals for themselves. They have helped many, many, many other people achieve those goals, whether it being buying your first piece of hunting land or maybe buying multiple parcels of land and developing a small investment portfolio in raw land real estate. And so those are some really, really cool things we're going to have coming up in just the next 2 or 3 episodes. And I can't wait for you guys to meet Tony Smotherman and Willie Urish and hear from some of these guys who have been there, done that, and want to help see other people get to that dream of land ownership. If you're that person who's hungry for that information and you need that kickstart, or you're looking for somebody to help you with the next level of information that is going to plug in the holes, the missing pieces, the things that you hadn't thought of or that you just didn't quite understand, how are you going to make this possible? If you're feeling like you're getting close, then these guys are bringing a lot of specialized knowledge and information from their personal experiences that I think you're just going to get a lot out of. How are we going to be bringing in more guests? And what is this space that I talked about a little bit before? Jordan has heard me use this term quite a few times, and I can't recall if I've used it here on the podcast before, but maybe somebody can help remind me if I did. We have a space, and it's in our historic Opera House building directly over the top of the Mercantile. And it's an amazing historical space that was previously used as a Masonic lodge. It's just loaded with history and just a lot of cool character, but it needs a lot of love, and it's kind of in tough shape. As we've worked through the building and started renovations this summer, did a ton of tuck pointing work. We just got done putting a brand new roof over this whole part of the building. And we have new windows and doors going there in the next 30 days throughout this whole space. We'll be moving in there and renovating that space, adding a lot of tech, wiring, cabling, all of the things that we're going to need to really set this up as our full studio so that we can kind of make things a little bit more plug and play. You want to follow the socials. If you're not following us yet on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, go do it. Do it right now, but watch for more updates on that, especially on the socials. We might be doing some Facebook or Instagram lives up there just as the work progresses. If you guys want to see more of that kind of behind the scenes stuff of what we're doing and what the land loft is going to consist of, follow us on there and we'll share more of it. And hopefully within the next couple of months, we're going to be fully moved in there and we'll be recording episodes weekly in there and bringing guests in, and just life will be a lot easier for us. And so we'll be producing a lot more content on a lot more consistent basis for you. It feels really good to be back in the saddle and have you guys along for the ride. Thanks for being a member of our tribe here on Land Your Ground.